I believe this is like the right market that Indonesian government should capture and focus on.
Yeah.
Because we are tired of being known as a cheap destination.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
Wow, I should say this.
It's rolling, bro.
Oh, it's rolling.
Yeah.
Name is Olumide Benro. I'm founder of Digital Nomad Summit. I've been living in Bali a year and a half, and these are all my friends as well.
Hi, I'm Wahyu. I'm the founder of DIY Academy and Foundation.
Yeah, and I'm Hadi. I'm the general manager of DIY Academy and Foundation.
All right. My name is Pierre. I'm a co-founder of Cowork Surf, a booking website for co-living spaces near surf. And today we're going to have a chat about these guys' exciting proposal to the government of Bali, maybe even the president, for a real digital nomad visa.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Yeah, I think I would love to preface it, and I'll shut up after this. But I think the preface is having lived here for a year and a half, and being connected to both local people. And also digital nomads, I definitely saw like this was needed, and then I saw Wahyu, which they're gonna sort of share where they are right now, where we are. I saw Wahyu post about it online. I was like, wow, this can be real, and it made me really jump on and try to partner and create value and help collect data from our community to help such a proposal. So I think the side of it's not sides, we're together, but there's a side where we're talking about digital nomads living in Bali, or people who work online living in Bali and trying to find a legal status or something that makes sense, but also something that benefits locals and the Indonesian economy. So that's sort of the background as to where we are. And I think if you want to speak and interview or ask them questions, I think we want to know sort of where everybody is bringing in an angle of value to see how quick we can get this to be reality, because we know it will be reality.
Cool. That's a great intro.
Yeah. So basically, we all know that Bali depends on tourism economy, right? And when we have pandemic like this, like COVID-19, it seems like the whole economy is like shut down. And government of Indonesia has a plan to and a vision to actually switch the tourism dependent economy from tourism dependent economy to a digital and creative economy.
Yeah.
So this is one of alternative solutions for Indonesia, specifically for Bali, that really relies on tourism, where if we can capture the new type of market of tourists, which is the remote workers, for example, and they have been here for so long, but at that time the remote working culture was not so popular, and right now it's getting like normal, because we are living new normal. So how can we capture that market as a new opportunity for Bali and Indonesia to grow economically from getting these people to come in
and to be more resilient?
Yeah.
So that's a great question. What do you think is the answer?
Well, we have tried to submit our proposal. Like, thanks to Olumide, like the digital nomad community has been helping us a lot in doing research. Like, we have sent, we have got the data from like 150 respondents, like the digital nomads in Bali and Indonesia in general. Like, how much do they usually spend here, and how long they have worked here, what kind of visa do they have, and those data we can collect. And it is proven that more than 60% of those digital nomads, like, they are willing to pay tax for Indonesia. And it is very exciting, and we can push the government, like we need to be more open to have another visa, like, to facilitate those digital nomads or remote workers to stay longer here. So yeah, I think
what are the current options if you want to work remotely in Bali or Jakarta, anywhere in Indonesia?
Currently, no option.
What visa?
Currently,
Legal.
we have
They're saying legally there's no option, but there's other things that people use. Maybe share those.
So currently, if you really wanna do business in Indonesia, you have to apply for KITAS, which is like temporary stay permit. and there are two types of kitas in general: employee kitas and investor kitas.
Right.
So if you wanna be 100% legally working in this country, either you need to be employed by a company that is willing to give you employee kitas, or you yourself set up company and get yourself investor kitas. So these are two ways of fully being legal working in Indonesia by having kitas. So that's why there is a gap between fully legal and then illegal.
Right. So you either have to be hired by a local company or set up your own company in Indonesia.
Yeah.
And otherwise, what kind of visas are there? Like
there are like some different visa like
social visa and business visa. But as far as we know, these two types of visa are not allowed to earn money or to get paid in this country. For example, a business visa allows you to attend conferences, workshops, but it doesn't mean that you are employable or you are allowed to work in the country.
Right.
And for social visa is, for example, there is a foundation wants to fly you from where you are to Bali or to Indonesia and maybe help this foundation to teach English.
Right.
Then they can be a sponsor for you to give you social visa.
So you still need a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because now you can buy social visas from within Bali for this short period of time, right? And there's a whole bunch of agencies popping up that will create those fake.
Those are fake.
Yeah, they just
Well,
pull them out of anywhere.
I feel like we can comment on that on our personal experiences, sort
Right.
of outside foreigners or people visiting. For us, it's that gray zone, right? Like
Yeah.
for us, I know people who've been coming to Bali. I won't tell you who they are, but for 7-8 years have been doing a visa run every month.
Oh yeah,
I didn't understand that. I still don't understand that. I think
every other month.
every other month or
Yeah.
every 1 month or every 2
Yeah.
months. So I feel like there's certainly a gap there where people have become, reliant on this sort of technique of having money or making money, what we kind of call geographical arbitrage, making money in USD or Western currency, which helps you live at a higher standard of living in Indonesia. And I still don't think there's anything wrong about that, but I think there are ways that we have to start considering on how do we benefit the local people that are living in Indonesia, especially Bali.
Right.
So the multiple entry business visa is another thing, and something that I use. It's something that allows you to basically have meetings but not earn money from the land. But what we've been seeing as digital nomads is because we work online, it doesn't break any rules, but we know there's a technicality. We're not going to get arrested necessarily, but we're being...
You can get a big fine.
You can get a fine if you work with a local company. So it's like a lot of things are hush hush, don't work. Or if you're marketing like me, I've never worked for a local business. I won't under this visa, but I know that around the world, people who come to Bali from around the world work online. But there's thousands of us that have been doing it for so long, but nothing has been done to stop us. It's just one thing. When you get to the border, they ask you, what's your purpose? A lot of people lie. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm just here on vacation. It's you're on vacation every month, every other month. For me, I say, I love Bali. I have friends here. I actually tell them, the people don't believe this. I tell them I have an online business. I say, oh, I have an online business. It's based in California, which is true. I tell the truth. But I know that there's always been this gray zone and this uncomfortability for a lot of us to say that we work online or we're content creators or creative people or we love surfing, and it's like, it's not adding up. But I hope that by this and having a facilitative effort from both sides, that we can come up with something that we don't have to skirt around the edges.
Or we can just be here.
And just be here,
Yeah.
right?
Peacefully.
So there's a lot of like sort of things that when I've thought about this, for example, does that mean, so right now even I once looked at, can I jam on the beach or like in a bar, because I love singing and playing guitar, and I can't because you need kitas for that, right? And I love that because all the local musicians, you don't want to
so
literally get the
talented.
stages, right? And so where's the line there? Because the if you get a remote working visa, can you do any type of work here? And then like at one point, because there's a lot that I would love to give back as well. Like I see like around digital marketing, I guess, cool workshops to give, but you can't really be there or like advertise it in Facebook groups. There's people with fake profiles even who will like follow you and like knock your door, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like the good things that we can give back, and I'm excited about, but there's also a lot of sane rules around protecting jobs and stuff for locals. So
Yeah.
How do you dance around those?
Okay, so basically, I just wanna jump to the Olumide little bit of which is very interesting statement just said by him, where you know the reality, a lot of foreigners who come to Bali with this type of visa and they work online, they keep lying. They keep lying to the border officer or to the immigration that they do not work, but they actually work. And also these people, they need to get out of the country and come back like every month, such a hustle, right? And we try to look at it from that angle. Why don't we make them spend here more rather than like spending overseas, for example, for
Singapore.
yeah, for Singapore,
Malaysia,
Malaysia, flying to buy flight tickets or to pay hotels. Why don't we just tax them so that they can have peaceful life and they can stay here
That would be so
and
nice.
they do their own thing without like having such a hassle to fly in and out.
Yep.
So that's just one angle to look at it, and so we would like to make government realize that better to tax them in accordingly than just letting the money coming out of the country.
Although I mean, one argument is that I will still rent my room here. I just have 2 days of not eating nasi goreng. Maybe in the end, it's maybe only 100K
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, it's just one angle to look at it.
Right.
So we try to look at from different angles. And for
That's
example,
not 100K actually, because that $200 you'll spend it somehow a different way in
Yeah.
Bali probably.
yeah, coming to your statement just now, where how to protect local jobs. So I think we are living in the era of collaboration. So instead of like being individualistic or just focusing on our own people or group, we better to collaborate. And as Bali is attracting a lot of foreigners and expats to come and live here, why don't we collaborate on creating something? So that is the spirit of collaboration.
Yes.
So instead of like, oh, I'm local, you're expats, or we have more money, or you're poor, or whatever that divisive statements or divisive opinions, why don't we just, hey, what can we do to support each other?
What's your vision there? Can you create a tangible, like, what does that look like?
Okay, so basically our vision is to help government to realize their vision. So the government has a vision to encourage Indonesian people to less depend on tourism economy and more on like digital economy and creative economy. So in order to achieve that, we need to have enough resources, especially like human resources, right? Not when I say resources, you can translate it like knowledge, inspiration, connections, collaboration. So these can be resources for us as a local, so that we can switch from tourism economy to digital and creative economy, which is aligned with the government vision.
Cool.
But the question is how government implement that vision with what way?
Yep.
And this is one of the ways, which is to give visa or stay permit for people like you guys to be here to contribute to this country and collaborate with us as a community together.
And feeling safe and without afraid getting caught or anything. And also like for example in Estonia, like the fact that Bali is one of the top places for a digital nomad in the world, right?
Yeah.
And then there is no regulation from the government about it yet. Like they haven't realized how important this community could contribute to the country. And we are here to stand out that this is the time, guys. Like the COVID and this situation, like it's the good opportunity for us to go together to speak up to the government that this is really important.
And then maybe for some governments who are not in our generation, let's say baby boomers plus, for example, they may not be familiar with what is digital nomad, what is remote workers. But now with working from home, we call it WFH, with working from home culture that is enforced because of the COVID. Now governments, I hope and I believe they start to realize that this kind of working culture will be so common and so normal.
Right.
Yeah.
So people can work from anywhere, basically.
It's crazy. The whole pandemic has been like the craziest marketing stunt that no one could ever think of.
Right.
Like let's do a virus so that nobody can leave their home, so they're forced to figure out how to work from home. And this whole transition that we actually thought that would last like at least 10 years just happened in a week. Boom, millions and millions of people work from home, and I saw a study, 54% of adults want to keep working from home at least a majority of the time. So I mean, it's
I
just
think it's 80 now. I think.
yeah, probably,
You know
like,
what I mean?
because it makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
it makes
amazing.
sense.
Look at where we are. Like,
You can make money.
Yeah.
You don't have to live.
you can work and live in a place where you actually want to be instead of where you have to be. And-
Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, well, what was I saying there? It's gonna grow. Like, it's not gonna get any less, right? So it's gonna go there, and it's kind of like, do you want to capture this opportunity now, and you know, I mean, it's happening already. Do you want to get money in your pocket and make it easier to capture those opportunities, or do you want to wait for the rest of the world, kind of to see what's going to happen and be a little too late? However, I do think I don't know, how do you do that? Because like, there's currently eight countries with options. Like Georgia, Australia is like in the middle with a working holiday. I think Barbados. But Bali has never, and Estonia, but Bali has never struggled with getting enough tourism, because for some of those countries it's to boost tourism. It's already crazy busy here. Actually, I'm a little afraid for when the borders open again, because wow, it really explodes here. So, and then add to that people can stay for a year, which will make it more attractive for more people to come. Like, how do you handle that?
Yeah, that's why we will do pre-screening.
Okay.
So this is part of our proposal in our draft proposal. So, for example, for us, if we want to go to Europe, they will ask us like how much money you have in your bank account. Do you have like a steady job? Show us if you have job. Show us your salary receipt, and then where will you stay? Which address, which hotel. So we have to have very clear purpose why we want to go to Europe or Schengen area. So it's super difficult for us to be able to get Schengen visa. But it doesn't mean that we want to make this visa process difficult for you guys. What I mean is that this is just an example of doing pre-screening. So maybe what we can say here is that, for example, for those looking to apply for whatever the visa will be called later on, or let's say now digital nomad visa or remote workers visa. For those who wanna get this visa, they have to give us proof that they are financially able to sustain themselves while living here. For example, if you're employee, then you can show the government how much you earn.
You made last year or your monthly.
Exactly, and then you show us where will you stay. Which place accommodation that you book, and then this is another I think point where we add, because of pandemic, we prefer people to commit to stay at least 6 months to 1 year without needing to go out, because if you need to go out for visa run, you may potentially bring virus, right? So if you, for example, okay, I'm sick of living in my country or in my city, I'm bored, I want to go to Asia because now in Europe is winter. So you have to commit before you come here. Okay, I want to live in Bali for 1 year, so that I will apply for this visa. So I do not need to get out of the country, and I do not need to potentially bring the virus for myself and for people in that country. So that's why we need to do pre-screening, from financial screening, health screening, and then purpose. And there will be additional value if that person or the applicants for this visa, if they have a willingness to contribute socially to the community. For
Yes,
example,
I think this is so important, because maybe there's people just starting out, and they have the best intentions, really smart, they just don't have their finances aligned as well yet. I think it's kind of hard to measure people's, because you want people who care for the local community and country. Like, you'd rather have someone who has maybe less money but really helps glue the community together, and like, I don't know.
I want to comment on that. Is what you're talking about is sort of what they're working at DY Academy for, and the vision of actually implementing something like this. It's not just that digital nomads show up and we eat at the warung, so they make some money there. We go to not just eat, but we pay for accommodation at the guest house. We're talking about a collaborative effort between us teaching perhaps digital skills And like you said, in the social side, offering those skills that I know Indonesian youth will be hungry to learn, because they can figure out that you don't have to just be a driver, you don't just have to be working at a restaurant as your only option when you grow up in Bali. Oh, at least I own one guest house, so like life is better. You can earn the same or much more by having a digital skill, and we have those skills that we can exchange with them. So on the social side of volunteering to do it, but also one thing DIY Academy is implementing, I want to make sure is makes sense or is shared, is they have a plan to have people like ourselves who have digital skills employ people that are possibly legally, we have to see how that works, but employ people that can be graphic designers, the things that we need for our marketing agencies and our coaching programs and the things that people already need in Bali. Hire an Indonesian highly skilled worker that they've trained throughout their weeks of programming in their actual company that they own and they run here. You know, there are going to be different ways that we can make sure that that mesh makes better sense, and it's not just us paying a tax just to feel like we have this privilege, which I've always said in my personal journeys online is we don't have a privilege of being here. We're lucky and blessed to be allowed to be in this country. So,
Yeah, that's really interesting. Like, there's, I guess, one thing, like, I'm all pro this, but when I'm thinking about it, is as well, like, life is so good here, and I really love the social, like, focus of Indonesian culture. And, you know, if you live with your family in this beautiful nature and with this, near the coast, that's like, I think that's very attractive for people from Western societies to enjoy more, because I think we've kind of lost that due to individualism. And there is, I see like a lot of really ambitious Indonesians, and at the same time I'm a little bit like, oh, I don't want to bring all that Western, you know what I mean? Or
I see what you mean.
I don't know if that's conservative.
Well, let's talk about, you're talking about Canggu.
I don't know how to talk about
He's talking about Canggu, Bali. He's talking about Canggu, Bali, where we see all of these restaurants popping up that are chic in New York and bohemian, and we have sort of and we're gonna be real. Like they know I'm real, I know you're real. Bohemian sort of culture, yoga culture. It sort of takes, and I won't say steals, but in some ways steals culture, reappropriates it, and makes money from it. So I think we have to be conscious of those things as well.
And it becomes one concrete jungle, like hallucination. Like it's and like with more people, like, you know what I mean? Like I definitely think there's amazing aspects from this self-select group of people who designed their life the way they want it to be, not around what the world wants it to be, that we can learn from, like people who come here to work. And then there's so many beautiful things from like the local culture and way of life that can we find like a perfect balance there? That's my question, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's why we need to do pre-screening for this kind of visa for the applicants, because you remember this has gone viral, like about backpackers, right? And backpackers, they went to the South Asia, but they in a way trying to earn money illegally, doing some street jobs or playing music on the streets or whatever. But no judgmental here. What I mean is that this is just like a case, and now as we have a new normal where people can work remotely and it becomes a new norm, why don't Bali focus on capturing that kind of market, that kind of people, where we know that people who can work remotely, they must have skills and they must have something to share to the community. So if we capture that market and we make Bali or Indonesia as the tourism hub for this kind of market, so tourism hub for people who want to work remotely on the under the sun on the tropical islands, that can be more. We can have more quality of tourists or more quality tourists.
Yes, that's what you want to get at.
Exactly,
and
and then
just anyone.
and it to make it win-win. I think it's like kind of like win-win collaboration in this case. For example, if you work in San Francisco or wherever major city in the Western world, your rent will mostly be very high amount, right? I don't know how much you rent, for example, in San Francisco.
Rent
for
is like
one,
2K a month.
2K. I heard my friend 3K, 4K, right? Just
that's
for
like 4 months here.
Yeah, just for a room. Man, you better use your salary or your income wisely. You come here, you spend more here, you help local businesses, but at the same time, you also have more quality of life. So it's win-win.
And I want to leeway because we don't want to be. We have so many topics, and this is just one of our first times we're talking as a group. I want to leeway into where we are today. Like, where are we going? what have we achieved together as a group in terms of us collecting data and sharing our sort of emotional side of it, and also what technically has been done in this proposal? Where is it, and where do we expect it to go?
Yeah. So we have submitted a proposal to the Ministry of Secretary State,
National Secretary.
National Secretary, and this is like a common way for us as a citizen of Indonesia to propose things like any letter or proposal if you want to reach out to the government or even the president, and we have done that. So we also have our connections. Luckily, Wahyu and I, we got some key people from the Ministry of Tourism and
Coordinating
Creative,
Ministry for Economic Affairs.
and then also we have someone also from the Istana Negara, right?
Yeah,
The-
Istana Negara, yeah.
So yeah, hopefully by
National Police.
the national police. Yeah,
Just to translate.
we have so many different doors.
Yeah.
To make sure that our proposal will be delivered properly into the president's table, and making sure that that proposal will be read by him, and
Cool.
there will be like a real execution, like a real
Implementation.
from the government.
Yeah, so we always, me personally and Hadi, and we as a team as a whole, like our collective team, I think all of us mostly are optimistic people, right? And then
Blue sky thinking.
Blue sky.
yeah, and then we also believe that rather than see and white, we should take initiative. So this is the initiative that we all take in order to get the balls rolling. So if we just wait and see, who else would take the initiative?
Yep.
So what we can do is just knocking the door, every single door that is possibly able to accommodate our aspiration, that can be basically heard by the key person or the key people of the government, so that this can be something that can be implemented for the sake of all of us, for the greater good. So we knock the door of different ministries, we knock the doors of some key people that we know internally, personally in Jakarta, and we also try to meet some key people from Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy. It is just to see which door that come first, which response that come faster, and hopefully from that one door, this thing can be boom realized or implemented.
You know what? It will happen.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Right.
I believe it.
What does life look like after? Today it happened. it's already reality.
I believe
What's
it.
changed?
Yes.
I think what will be changed is that, of course, I want to see Bali that will preserve its culture and its nature, not only just Bali, Indonesia as a whole. And I think by having more talented tourists to come, by capturing these remote workers,
I like that.
I think it will be a good exchange between two communities. When I say two communities, is from our side, like Indonesia community as a community, and then the international community, whoever coming from different part of the world who wants to come here. So if we basically can capture the quality of the tourists that also have the intention to do good here and also to contribute here, and we have the intention to warmly welcome you guys and learn from you and collaborate with you, that can be
And
a very
vice versa.
good exchange.
I love that. And how are we going to make sure that not all the nature is being eaten? That's something else.
Yeah.
We'll leave that for next
Yeah.
one. But thank you guys. And
That's super, man.
Yeah.
Right.
When will it happen? Can we book it?
Well, I wish that we
Well,
could make it happen ASAP by this year. However, it's not in our control.
yeah.
What we can do is just knocking the door,
Yeah.
taking the initiative. But again, the final decision is by the government. So
Yes.
Sweet.
So we as from the Awa Academy have done our best. Olumide and his community has done our best to blend this together as to be the nicest proposal as we can. And then it just like we hope the government will
listen to us.
it. And
Joko, if you hear this,
and then
We never know, actually.
yeah, we never know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Now it's like open
Love you.
information.
Also, I'd like to thank to our team, like Mas Roy Saputra from the State Place in Bogor, and also Lisando, like he's a researcher from UEE, and then also my team from DIY Academy and also Wahyu and Olumide to helping us realize this.
And Pierre, he
Yeah.
actually, thank you, brother.
And Pierre, yeah.
He,
And Pierre,
he came up
Thank
with
you,
this
brother.
to sort
Thank
of
you.
get us together.
Yeah.
And I said, let me call YU
Right.
and let the guys come over and then create this. So do us a favor, share this as much as you can. Tag as many people if you love Bali, if you love us, if you're personal
Yeah.
friends, family. Share this so that we can get the word out. So this conversation is not just us working on it, it's the community. So
Yeah, and if you want to do it in your home country, interesting too.
Why not?
absolutely.
I know, yeah.
The world is changing fast, so thank you guys.
Let's change
Thank
the
you.
world
Thank
together.
you, brother.
Yay, let's improve it.
Thank you, bro.
That's
What
fun.
do you say? Chew. What do you say?
You.
You. Make sure that shit. Yeah, perfect. I was so scared that we'd run out of battery. 3%.
Well done.
That was
fun.
so natural.
Wow,
That was
very
great.
efficient.
That was awesome. That was super
Good
fun.
job, guys.
Yeah.
Same work. Same work.
I feel like
don't let me hang.
that was. You're too tall, bro. You're too tall.
Good job, bro.
I'm even shorter than you, Wahyu.
That was meaty
That
as well.
was so good.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm gonna put it
Awesome.
on my computer because we gotta sell this. Let me just.
Sure.
We gotta. Yeah. So let me do that. You guys keep chatting. You guys need anything? Any water or anything? Let me know.
thanks.
Nice, nice.
Your case?
Oh yeah, thanks. Iya researcher, iya lawyer gitu. Lawyer dulu kerja di Gojek juga.
Aku mau mention lawyer tadi, kalau salah ya itu.
I like that you guys
So actually,
talk
yeah,
about the quality of
company
tourists.
you. Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
sweet.
Sweet.
I like that you guys talk about the quality of tourists. It's like hard to even like sort of
No one.
measure a person. That's not really fair, but there's definitely people that help more, that give more than they take. And especially when you have an island like Bali or Indonesia, then you can be quite selective, really, because
Right.
everyone want to be here.
Yeah, that's
But
true. And I believe this is like the right market that Indonesian government should capture and focus on,
Yeah,
because we are tired of being known as a cheap destination.
right.
You know?
Exactly.
Wow, I should say this.
It's rolling, bro.
Oh, it's rolling.
Yeah. That's great.
It's just we're so tired, man. Like, we want equal opportunity, equal collaboration. We want like learning from each other. We want basically benefit from each other.
Yeah.
So I think by capturing the quality of tourists who wants to give back, contribute, and at the same time also directly or indirectly will affect the economy because they will spend their money and their expenses here, and from
And you can
us
build businesses together.
Exactly.
You can, I mean, just humans collaborating.
It's not even
Exactly.
for like only digital remote workers, but also like people like you, content creators,
Yeah.
artists, photographers, like whoever who wants to contribute to collaborate together. Like why not? Like
Yeah.
those kind of the selected people. That
Yeah,
we
why not?
want.
Why not?
Yeah, right.
Why do visas exist in the first place?
because because government or people in power want to protect their interests, basically.
Protect their interest?
Protect their interests as in, for example, security, as in infiltration from foreign power, foreign government, or intelligence.
Really?
You're right. Yeah.
Yes,
How does that work?
because like for example, if you let anyone in, you never know who is intelligence for some government working for foreign
Really?
government. Yeah. That's why they need visa. I mean, like I'm not.
Maybe you're out of camera, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
okay.
We're
I was
still rolling.
I'm.
We don't.
Okay,
By the way,
camera.
this is.
No, this is just.
I'm not trying to get into very political, but
No.
But it's okay. Share us your geopolitics, geoeconomy.
If you don't want to have it in there, I'll cut it
Yeah.
out. No worries.
It's okay.
Like, this
Yeah.
is just me. I'll just go there and
Right,
make
right.
the video and cut out
Yeah,
whatever you
yeah,
don't want to
it's
be in there.
no.
Yeah,
I think there is history behind it, right? Like for example, if we look at the colonial history, so I guess one of the reasons why visa exists,
Yeah.
it is to protect the territory of the colonial countries, so that people that used to be colonized by them, they will not flux or they will not come by large numbers into
Really?
their country. One of the analysis. And another one is because of the intelligence infiltration,
Okay.
and also of course to protect the
Local markets?
Yeah, local market. Basically, when we say people in power's interest is very broad.
Yeah.
So you have interest in politics, you have interest in economy, you have interest in protecting the local market. You have interest in food estate. You have interest in protecting the property so that it will not, for example,
Inflation.
yeah, have inflation or get like a super
bubble. Yeah.
high price.
Right.
So a lot of reasons why visa exists, but again, as human being, we share the earth, we share like all this nature together. We shouldn't make it difficult for us to visit each other.
I always think like if you zoom out and you like look at Earth from space, you don't see any borders.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
just a ball and we're all alive on it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's also like back to the history, like in the 20s, like there are so many immigrants like coming from Europe to America, and then I don't think they have that kind of visa and
Right.
regulation to protect.
Yeah, that's
them,
why
right?
that's why I told you guys that visa exists to protect people's in power's interests.
In power interests, that's right.
Because imagine if, for example, people from Europe migrated to America, like all of them. Imagine
Then
how,
they get more competition.
yes,
Right.
yes.
You think
So yeah,
we don't want too many like people who can potentially
threatening.
get more power.
Yeah. So that's why like this is very interesting. The top 3%, they consolidate their power. They're very well organized, they're very rich, and they help each other. Why don't we, from the bottom of pyramid of the economy, why don't we consolidate? Why don't we help each other? So we will not be just always staying in the bottom, but when we consolidate, it means that we consolidate our power, our intention, and we make something that is greater than ourselves. And we will not just benefit the top 3%.
Yeah, we can beat the global elite who rule the world like in the last.
We can decentralize. We can beat
In the last.
the world for the people.
Yeah, the world.
No, basically now the new trending is decentralization, right?
Yeah.
Decentralization
Yeah.
is a new trend in
I mean,
in
it's just
leadership, in business.
it's so obvious also with this pandemic that there's been so many like experts, but no one really knows what's going on, and it's just. I love that you see like so many marches, people self-organizing to make a change, and it's just really obvious that the whole world is just a bunch of people creating rules, and you can change them whichever, because the world changes, and like for everybody, we've created the resources that we depleted the earth and created so much wealth that everyone can live a good quality of life. It's all there, but it's just like why? Yeah, how can we distribute that equally better? I guess and. Yeah.
Very noble, actually.
Yeah, we just do our part as much as we can, right? And that's why consolidating power, collaboration, and working collectively together is one of the key success for all of us to achieve the vision. Because
And what's the vision?
okay, before we come to that, I believe that nobody in this world is doing great things alone.
Right.
I don't believe that. Nobody
guys
in
work
this
together.
world,
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah.
You just said
I am.
nobody in this world is doing great things alone.
Yeah.
When you want to do great things, you have to work together
Yeah.
as a team, as a community.
That's why we exist.
Yes, that's why we exist, and we are social being
Yes.
as a human, right? And the vision is, back to the vision. The vision is, to me personally, I would like to see the world where the world has equal opportunity to anyone.
Yeah.
So, for example, not just let's say people coming from Western world who can earn much more money, and then people from the Eastern world earn less,
Yeah.
or vice versa, or people have more opportunity on the other side of the world, and on another side of the world, people have less opportunity. But this is very idealistic vision to achieve, right? So what can we do realistically in a pragmatic way is just to start from our own community. For example, okay, I want to see the world, but what can I do to change my own community, my village, my city, my island, my country, and then boom, the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other academy also, like,
That's
we are
true.
focused on
Start with your own
education.
mind.
Yes.
We are focused on education because we believe like there is something wrong with the education system in Indonesia. So we try to help the government to like make help them to decentralize the education, and we help to teach young people to teach them in digital skills, like what kind of skills that needed for the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah, I love that. Like
They don't teach them in schools, so.
decentralized education. When you
Yeah.
said that, for me, it's called YouTube. I think.
Ah,
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
I
And
think
they don't teach it
education
in
is
schools.
so
Yeah,
old.
right.
Like this is a really big passion topic of mine as well. Like
There's no like how to become a YouTuber on school, like
even there's
yeah,
like I
you
think
can
what
make
you
so much money in that.
I think all the adults have to like accept and like just how do you say that, accept that they have no idea where the world is going. Even like next year, really, we saw it with the whole pandemic. If you ask people what you're going to eat tonight, they don't even know. So like how can you grab a person and like create a curriculum for them for the next like 18 years? What you got to learn is like how to learn and how to like reinvent yourself. Why are you here? Who are you? And like
Right.
you have one life. Well, what do you want to do in life, and how are you going to do it? And just keep educating yourself along the way, I guess.
That's why I believe that self-development education is such a
Yeah.
more than
That's the core.
yes, more
Most
than important than like
Yeah.
today is like I think the most needed because we have to be prepared for disruptive era. We are living in disruptive time, right? So what you learn today may not be relevant or not used in the
Next 10 years, 10 years.
not
Tomorrow.
even 10 years,
Even-
even tomorrow
yeah.
or next month or next year. So it's very disruptive.
Yeah.
So how can we as human adapt
Mhm.
on that environment, that situation where we have to keep learning?
Yep.
So that's why
And to be curious and not
To
be
be
like
curious,
that's
yes.
you need to follow your own curiosity and learn that and trust in yourself that that's right, because if you
Yeah.
always follow other people, then
Know yourself deeper. That's what also we try to focus on.
that's why we as human we have to get our mindset first. So when we get the right mindset and when we get the right intention, then we can reinvent, relearn, and repurpose anything.
yeah, you can just do it. You can change everything to your own hand or like improve any situation like here it is. Well, so that's the last, or well, last thing. I don't know if the last thing, but the thing is like, what's the vision? What's the life you want to live? And I think for me that is I really really love the nature here, the pace of life. I love the life here. It's a good life, and I think it's always with other people, like valued people, and just making fun, cool stuff that help other people or that helps you creatively express yourself. Work on fun things, and I guess that's why I was more also like how do we preserve nature and the local culture. That's a different topic than a visa though, but I feel like that's here already. Like the living close to nature with each other. That's something the many Western societies lost, and that's why people come here, and that's what they love so much. So if you get a massive influx in people coming here, I'm just worried that like we need to protect all the, the Canggu was like 4 years ago was just rice fields more. and,
That's
like,
why we need to do pre-screening, and I guess as the things will evolve, maybe there should be a quota or something just
Yeah.
to prevent this.
I was thinking, can you have a maximum of people in Bali? Because
Otherwise,
Oh, we have a cap. All right, guys, we got about 10,000 digital nomads. You're the 10,001. Sorry, bro. You gotta go back to Iceland.
it doesn't really work though.
It doesn't. You have to set the number. You know what Iceland or no Estonia did?
Yeah.
I think they said 1,500.
Right.
The first round. It's almost a test. We have to test it.
Yeah.
Okay, how many people you want to bring in for the next 5 years that make sure we don't fuck this up?
Yeah.
They said 1,500 people.
I mean, it's
No.
kind of weird because what you said, like you're the 10,000 and first person. Sorry, you
Exactly.
can't go in.
Well, that's why you're applying before though. So that in Estonia they applied. They picked the 1,500. I think they opened applications like 3-4 days ago, right?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
like they picked the 1,500 people. Maybe if like somebody does something wrong, like, all right, bro, you've been going to the club.
You get
too
like
much."
you get like 3 points, and you're
Yeah.
like, if you fuck all 3, you gotta leave.
It's like if you get in a motorbike accident, then
You get -1.
check one. No, but yeah, it's interesting like how that is going. It's a new. I'm excited.
But you know,
New world.
that sounds kind of weird as I first heard it, because like,
Yeah.
can you actually put a limit? But I've been looking at like running a co-living space, so having one big
Oh,
villa.
that might affect you.
Well, I'm just
Right?
trying to see like Bali as an island as the whole space. And I wasn't making profit, for example, so we were really on like, look, we're doing this for fun. We only want to create
we only want to live with people who care about the community, who want to
Yeah,
add value
who
to
wanna
it.
be-
I don't care if you know that you have some people that come in and they're like, I love the post-its on the wall, I love all the creative, the spirit of creation, I love the guitar, I don't even have to see the room, I want to move in. And then you also have
Really?
people that are like trying to bargain on the room prices when it's
On the
like,
price?
bro, we're just sharing the price, like we're paying more if you're paying less. And those people
Oh,
are like,
shit.
you
They
can
gotta
find your
go.
room somewhere else.
We gotta go.
And like, yeah, if I think about it that way, we just did that and it worked really well because we created a really tight family. And can you do that for an island,
Yeah,
basically?
I
It's
guess
also, you don't want to like discriminate any people at the same time, you know?
I guess it's all about A/B testing.
Yeah.
We just test, right? We test the quota, like how many numbers that is right. We test the quality of people, the certain background check, and then we just adjust from there, you know. But something has to get
You
rolling.
got start, yeah, just start and improve.
Yeah.
To your point, bro, though, when you said something around like the money, like you don't want to accept. Like I'm harsh, bro. I've been broke. I've been couch surfing in Europe, Germany, Denmark, and I was there. But I also have this thing in my head, in my heart now about people who make money and can actually contribute are the ones that should be here. To be
Right.
totally transparent. If you don't make 2.5K per month minimum, I don't think you should get the visa.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not gonna put it on
In
the
our
video,
proposal,
but I'm just gonna tell you straight right now.
Yeah.
Because what else value can that person is making less make? Because they might get a guest house, but they're not really necessarily, first, they're not the most skilled. If you are skilled online, I think you should be able to make at least 2.5K or more.
Right.
If you actually have a valuable skill
It
to
is
the
a
global
An
marketplace.
easy filter.
It's an easy
Easy filter,
filter.
yeah.
Make 2.5K, because we see, even in the, it's funny, I was pleasantly surprised in the survey, I think we had people that were making 80%, at least that's what it said, 80% were making
80%,
3K or more.
3K or more.
That's great.
It's even
I
like
think
more
that's
than the national
The national average.
Average.
Which is, that would make sense if they're working online. And it's like, we have that already, which is great. So I'm not weeding out people who are just no money, but if you think about it, what is the value of someone who comes to Bali just to kind of chill and hang out and do yoga? Like, it's great. I love
Yeah.
it. But what are they doing to contribute to the
But
Balinese
you can't
people?
really, it's hard to measure though because they cannot work, so you cannot really measure what they give back. Like I feel
Say it again. Wait, who gives back?
for example, that yoga person, maybe they wanted to do
Right.
free yoga for kids, but they could never do it
Yeah,
because,
they couldn't because they didn't have. But
That's why.
I mean,
tough, it's
if you
tough.
need to get a filter, money is the easiest one. It's
money
just
is the
like,
easiest filter, but
there's
you
a
can't
lot of
quantify
really good,
value in some ways too. You're
Maybe
right.
there's another
really
scenario. There's another scenario. So maybe those people, like the yoga teacher, for example, if they want to contribute, maybe before they apply for the visa, what they can do first is to apply for example, with the foundation, local foundation.
Social visa.
For example, I have
it's like a
foundation.
social,
yeah. I have a foundation. So before this person come to Bali, this person
Okay.
cares about education.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to teach English in your foundation. So
I like that.
she
I like
she
that.
applies to my foundation, and I see her application.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Okay, we will do interview, and then after that, okay, approve. Then with this,
right? You kind of
approve-
sponsor a person.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's like the social visa,
Yeah.
but like with digital, with remote working.
Yeah.
Because social visa was like, hey, go play with the kids, but no, like come build my website. That's
right,
actually
I like
freaking-
that. I like that because we
Dope.
chatted about it the other day. Because I was like, "How do you actually do that?" And that
Yeah.
girl said, "Like, why don't you do like social work, like how you have in Australia? You have the working holiday. You have to spend 88 days on a farm, right? Help out the farmers because they look like Australians don't want to do that work anymore. So they just put
Shit
fucking
anymore.
tourists on it.
Yeah.
So is there a way that you can somehow do that?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
And how to prove this by, for example, me as a foundation, I can give like a recommendation letter for her, so she can use this or show this to the government or to the immigration where she's applying visa from.
I see.
It's like you're applying for a
that-
job, and then the company write you a
Sponsorship
letter so that you can apply for visa.
Right.
That's the one that I'm done because it's almost we're just evolving. We're almost like we still give the same value as like maybe the social, the business, the investor visa, but it's now just putting a legal. That almost it's the same thing. But we're putting a legal status on it because the other stuff is for old school shit. Like
Yeah.
come and teach in my school.
Right.
I don't, you know.
Actually, yeah, I see
It's
that.
the same, isn't
Yeah.
it? You
But
think
how
about it
cool
that
is
way.
that if like if you're starting you're a local person, you're starting your business, and there's 5 skilled people
High
knocking your
level.
door, or not even high level, even
Or
if it's just
good.
a person starting out, but they
Social
know how to
media
build an
manager.
exactly that. It's like, okay, cool. You have to work for me for 3 months, and then you can stay for the rest of the year.
I would have done. I would shit instead of going to Germany and couch surfing and being broke as fuck. I might have done that. That's fine. I'll manage your Instagram. That's what I've been doing to survive. And the couch is in Germany, but it's cheaper here. So let me come to Europe, Mr. Hadi. You know, like, I work for Mr. Hadi.
And then when you end up doing this, all the Instagram accounts from Bali are beautiful.
Dude.
Hopefully.
It's a domino
I can
effect.
tell.
Yeah, so
very
it's,
cool.
maybe there's some like double thing there, because I don't know. There's a lot of amazing people who don't make that much money.
Yeah,
Yet.
you're right. I agree with that actually. I agree with
Yeah.
that. Absolutely.
And recently, the government also like they tend to make new regulations that will make a domino effect. That's what we heard from them.
Explain that. You mean if one regulation comes
So-
through, then you get others, or what?
Yeah. So for example, if this digital nomad visa like approved, it means that it could make a multiplier effect for the economy, local economy,
Right.
local communities. Like not only for the tourism, but
Exponential.
also the small medium enterprise to help them,
Yeah.
you know, to grow their business and everything.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think Indonesian government is lacking of think tank.
Think tanks.
Yeah, think
Think
tank.
tank.
So
Yeah, to create new
Youth
ideas and
thinking,
shit.
yeah.
I think we should be more active politically in a way that we should be the think tank for the government, but we take the initiative in the first place.
You know what's a really cool concept in the Netherlands? There's this one site called Battle of Concepts, and you'll see on that site you'll see battles, like problems set out by both businesses and the government itself. For example, we have an elderly problem. A lot of elderly people are lonely.
Right.
We have the prize is 10,000 euros for the best concept, for the first
for
four
solving
best
that problem.
concepts.
Wow.
So you can, like, the government can set out those
Pitch,
challenges of like,
Yeah.
okay, hold on, like Bali turns into concrete. We set 10,000 rupiah for the one who solves the challenge, 10 million rupiah for the one who solves the
That's
challenge,
good. That's good.
That's
or
nice.
any challenge really. So you really use the whole like countries to solve the problems together.
That's a good idea.
We should,
Yeah,
we should put that in
we
our
should
You
roadmap.
got it, man. Yeah, you can post that
It's easy
tomorrow.
to build as well,
That's amazing.
and it works because, like, I think for the last challenge I joined one of them, which was like, how do you connect neighborhoods better together, because people don't know their neighbors as well as they used to. And I think they had like 80 proposals or something like that, which is really nice. It's like
That's
free
good.
work as well.
Yeah. Wow.
I misread the deadline. I was a month too late, so
Yeah.
it was June
Like
and
that
it was
happens.
July.
You're like,
I'm
Julia,
please take it.
Oh,
I have this
please
big
take
deja
it.
vu from university where it's
Yeah,
like,
when you
I
forget
get
about the fucking
work for
deadline.
nothing.
I think when I can comment on the media side, and I check out like sort of like what you're doing, but you're in media. It's like we almost have to use our spotlight or whatever we can to get it, because these guys may never be seen by someone in Netherlands unless, you know, their friend tags them or something like that. We got to do a good effort of just
Yeah.
blasting them. That's why I love hanging out with Wahyu. I'm like, yeah, that's my dude.
Yeah, this
You know
is
what I
cool
mean?
stuff. Like, we just gotta.
Oh, we should do a
find
photo.
stage.
Let me get
Yeah,
Kelly
right,
to take a photo,
right.
so we can even post it in our own way or talk about
Yeah.
it.
We have to post it in the our academy as well.
Spread the word, bro.
Just wait until time comes.
Yeah, it's cool. And it's gonna happen. I am surprised by how quick people can move if they have to. You know, like the whole world literally fucking changed in a week. So if it needs to happen, we can do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like the same with this visa. Like, I think they changed the whole. Now you can do a social visa. And they did that in a month as well. Like last month, the 13th of less than a month, 17 days or so. The 13th of July, they said, you know, the whole you have to leave if you're on a visa on arrival. Then everyone's like, oh no, I gotta leave in the next month and I can't come back in because the borders open 13th of September. And then 2.5 weeks later, they said, okay, you can buy a social visa from within the
They
country.
keep changing. I don't even know
that
what's
really
real.
So they,
And what's
in
not
2.5 weeks, they can put the remote worker visa.
Oh, I love that you're still recording.
Ah.
This guy's
Could be
smart.
like the
That
behind the
second
scenes
part, I
section.
want that. Send that to me. Flip it out, the one we were talking about at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know if the lighting's good, honey. You know.
Yeah, it's good.
It is.
Perfect.
I guess.
Landscape or
Wow.
portrait?
Both actually would be great.
3, 2, 1.
Is this interesting to see?
Yeah, the
Trust
yard
me, she's
looks
got
really
experience
cool.
taking photos. No,
The yard looks really cool.
Should we all do like a political one where we all shake hands?
Yeah.
That's the other shake hand. With this like across
Oh,
your.
your
Yeah.
where are all the hands?
Just hide
Like
my underneath.
Oh, this is
Okay,
great.
ready?
That's it.
We take portrait and yeah, that's
Nice
good.
phone case. I love that color.
Yeah.
I think that's my
I'll
favorite
send you
color.
guys the photo.
Yeah, it's cool,
Thank you.
right?
Yeah. Okay,
Thanks.
cool.
Yeah,
Well,
it turned out good.
I guess we can set up another.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thumbnail
yeah,
alert.
That's so dope. Yeah.